everyone, my name is Tom from Project X. I'll give you guys a brief rundown of some of the highlights that Microsoft has for exclusives on the Xbox Series X and S in 2021. Now, we're not going to go through the entire list, but the full list will be in the description below. I'll also link the trailers for the games I talk about in the description below. And I'll probably have a picture somewhere up here for the games I'm talking about. Maybe not. The first game we're going to talk about is called Adios. This one's pretty interesting to me. It is a walking simulator, which is not normally my cup of tea. However, the story in this one seems pretty dang interesting. So pretty much you play as a pig farmer and you're hired by the mob. They bring in bodies and your pigs eat the bodies to get rid of them. Eventually your guy has a change of heart. He decides this is not the life for me and he tries to now leave the mob. But now the mob wants him dead. Clearly, you don't just leave the mob. So it's a pretty interesting startup for the journey. It's going to be interesting to see how they pull this one off and keep everyone engaged. They list it as it being a cinematic journey, so I'm interested to see what they do with this one. Again, it's a walking simulator. There's a lot of good ones out there, but again, it's not really my personal cup of tea, but this one is one definitely to keep an eye on. The next one we have on the list is called the Ascent. This one is an action RPG. It's based off a cyberpunk universe, so it looks beautiful, futuristic. I love the cyberpunk feel of it. It can be played in co-op, which is also a huge plus. And again, it's just an action RPG. It looks like it's more of a shooter than an RPG in that sense, I guess, but definitely still an action RPG. It looks interesting to see. We'll have a review of this one at some point when it does drop. Definitely keep your eyes on this one. I recommend watching the gameplay and trailers on this one. It looks really good, really interesting, and this is definitely one that I'm looking forward to. Crossfire X. This is one that's already a huge franchise on PC. It's a lot like Counter-Strike. However, now we're going to get a single-player campaign to go along with it. The campaign, the visuals look really nice. I wouldn't say AAA, more AA graphics and visuals, but from what they showed us, it really does look good. It looks interesting. I can't wait to try this one out. Keep your eyes on Crossfire X. I'm sure the campaign will be good, and when the multiplayer drops as well, that'll be just as good. Dead Static Drive is another game on this list that looks really interesting. It's a survival horror game. However, in this one, it really takes place on a vehicle. You're going down Route 666, and there's going to be a lot of probably monsters along the way, zombies, and just a lot of survival aspects. This one seems like it'll be a good one to play through. Definitely, survival games is more of a niche genre in that regard, but this might satisfy my thirst until State of Decay 3 comes out. You knew we were going to talk about it. Halo Infinite. We were supposed to have this game back in November, and now we're probably going to have it in November of this year, 2021. Really hope this one doesn't get delayed again. I'm really excited to see what 343 has been working with this one, cooking up, and I'm excited. Halo 5 was not a good game. Halo 4 campaign I loved. So 343 really does have a lot to live up to here for me. But from what I've seen so far of the gameplay, even though people didn't really like the graphics, from what I saw just gameplay-wise, it looks like it's fun. It looked fun. It looked like it's bringing a lot of elements that will refresh the series. The more open environment. So I'm really excited to see this one. Really excited to try the multiplayer out. If they ever drop a battle royale mode on this game as well, even excited for that. Like, Halo needs to be revitalized. Multiplayer is going to be free to play when it does drop. I cannot wait to try this one with my friends. More Forge lobbies, more Infection lobbies. Definitely going to be something that's going to be like, oof. I cannot wait for Halo Infinite. Then we have a game dropping this Thursday, January 28th. You might have heard of it. You might have not. It's called The Medium. It's a dual reality game. It's pretty damn interesting. It takes place in a hotel, for one. And the medium that goes in there, she can see two worlds pretty much. We have the option to see the world the way that it normally is, but then you can see like what's actually happening paranormal wise. It's really interesting to see. It's like the most unique concept I've seen in a horror game, period. Definitely this is one to look out for. Definitely play it on Thursday when it comes out on Game Pass. Bloober Team, I have to give you guys props. This game looks good. They dropped also a gameplay trailer today, I believe, a longer one, 18 minutes worth. If you guys want to check that out, for real, check this game out when it comes out Thursday. Biggest game we're getting so far on Xbox, and I'm excited to try this one out. Then there was Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is one that I've personally already played on my PC. It ran okay, but my PC is not the best. So I'm really hoping when it comes out on Series X and Series S, I can actually fully enjoy this one. I cannot wait to fly another 747, another jetliner, anywhere. It was so much fun in that game. It's nothing that really takes too seriously, honestly. I feel like this game is more just a relaxing game. You can just learn how to fly. If you want to play it in hardcore difficulty mode, you can actually learn what all knobs do, what every single button does to actually control the plane. It's pretty fun in that regard. And the visuals as well are amazing. They are constantly updating this game with new environments, new landmarks. So it's definitely one to look out for. Cannot wait for this one to drop on consoles. And Microsoft Flight Simulator, guys. If you have a PC now, really recommend it. Nice, relaxing experience. Who say 3D platformers are dead? I did, actually. But we're getting another one. We're getting Psychonauts 2, revitalization of the series. Excited to try this one out. Psychonauts 1 was one that it wasn't really too fond for me, but I did play through it as a child. Psychonauts 2, I cannot wait to see what they're bringing back to the table. 3D platformers is a genre that I feel like it's mostly dominated by Super Mario at this point. And there's really not a lot of good ones that come in between that. So if Psychonauts 2 can become a nice, platform series for the Xbox moving forward, then I'm excited to see have that on there. Definitely not a genre that we should ignore. And yeah, Psychonauts. And then there was Scorn. I honestly still do not know what Scorn is about. But they define it as like an action horror game. It's not really something that's going to be horror in terms of like the jump scare. It's more about the environments, however. Everything's like flesh-like, and it's like a techno-flesh futuristic game. It's really super weird. Everything in this game is all fleshy. That's what the creepy factor of it is. But apart from that, I'm really still not sure what this one has to offer. But that's what makes it one of the more curious games of 2021. I cannot wait to see more information on this game. When it does drop, I will likely try this one out. It might be too gross looking for me, but it looks gross like in a beautiful way. Like the graphics on this one look amazing. That's how gross it looks. The last game I want to bring up on this list is Warhammer 40k Darktide. So this one takes place in the 40k universe. If you guys ever played Warhammer Vermintide, it's a really wonderful game. It feels like a lot like Left 4 Dead co-op. You guys go with your friends, go through the story, or through each individual level and get to the very end. It's a fun adventure to have. Every class is a little different, and it is really a fun experience. And Warhammer 40k Darktide is not one to sleep on. It's going to be around the same experience. However, again, in the 40k universe, which is more futuristic, which we get to like guns, pretty much like big guns, more space fantasy. So in that regard, it's a little different than Vermintide, but it's going to be a fun game nonetheless. If you guys have not played Vermintide right now, it is available on Game Pass. Actually, it's even optimized for Series X. Give that one a try. It's going to be a blast. I promise you. Get some buddies on, 4-player co-op. Enjoy it out. But that's pretty much the list, guys. I have nothing else to bring up on this list. If you guys have any games that I had missed on this list, or maybe they weren't even included on this list, again, this is an exclusive list for console-wise exclusive list. Comment that below. Don't forget to leave us a like, comment, subscribe to us on Project X Talk YouTube. Don't forget to check out our podcast every Sunday. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got, guys. Ciao.